terms to simplify algebraic expressions. So these words are also in your flip book. So variable terms, constant terms. I don't like using the word terms. We're just going to say variable. Okay. And that would be a letter. We're just going to call it a letter for now, okay? Constant. We're going to say that's a number without a letter. Okay, so a number all by itself. Okay? But a coefficient is a number next to a variable. We don't have to change anything because that's exactly what it is. So I'm a constant, our variable, and our coefficient. Okay? All right. So let's look at this. So you're going to identify the variable, the constant, and the coefficient. Okay, so variables. Right here we have x. Okay, the coefficient is a number in front of a variable. We have 4 and we have 7, and the constant is a number all by itself, is the 9. Okay, so that's all we're going to be doing is identifying these parts. Okay, so coefficient, I'm going to go from the front. I see a number next to a letter, that's a coefficient. A variable is a letter by itself, and my numbers by themselves all alone are my constants. Okay, I'm just going to keep going through all of these. Then I have this 9 in the front with nothing is a constant. Okay, a 6 in front of a K, 8 in front of a K are going to be coefficients, 6 and 8. The K is my variable, and the 1 in the back is my constant. Okay, as you can see, there can be more than one. Now, at the beginning, I have R, my variable R. You don't have to write it again because it's sitting here next to the coefficient. It's not a different letter, it's still R. So this R would have the same value as that R. I have a 14 and a 15 alone, which makes it constants. No, 14 and 5, excuse me. And then a 2 in front of my R is my coefficient. All right. So my 6 all alone, my 13 all alone are constants. My 7 in front of the W is a coefficient, and my variable is W. Okay. Now, if you want to go just by looking at the column first, what's my variable? Whoop, I got P's. P. And then what are my coefficients? What's attached to a variable? Well, I have 1/2, and I have 9 for 9P. And then what in integers are all alone? My constants, I have 14 and 2. Okay, then I have 8x plus 3y plus 15y. Well, I have an 8 in front of my x for a coefficient. I have a 3 in front of my y for another coefficient. And I have a 15 in front of my y for another coefficient. I have 2 variables this time, x and y. But as you can see, I have no constants. I have no integers all alone, and that's okay. So you can just put an x through it. You don't have any. Okay. No, we're not going to put an x because we're using x as a variable. We're going to say none. None. Okay. Now I have 3m plus 7n plus 14 plus 8m. 3m. Well, that's a coefficient. 3. M is a variable. 7 is a coefficient. N is a variable. 14 all alone is a constant. 8 in front of my m is a coefficient, and I already have the letter m as a variable. Okay. 9, 7w plus 2v plus 11 plus 4 plus 6w. We've got a lot going on. 7 attached to my w is a coefficient. My w is a variable. 2v, my 2 attached to my coefficient v, to my variable, excuse me, is a coefficient. My v is a variable. My 11 and 4, those integers are all alone. They are constants. 6w, 6 is my coefficient. And w is already there. It's already there, so we don't have to write that one again. Okay. Then I have 2/3 p plus 5/6 q plus 1/4. So 2/3 is a coefficient. P is a variable. 5/6 is a coefficient. Q is a variable. And then 1/4 all alone, it's a constant. Value never changes. Okay, turn it over. Okay. So this is where we have combining our terms. We know what our terms are now, but we have to combine them. So we're going to simplify the expression by combining like terms. And so this is where you can get a couple of highlighters. I might go with 3 different colors, just because we might see some things not repeated. So the first term in my expression is 12x. I'm going to highlight 12x, okay? Now I'm going to look for another term that has a variable x, and that's 7x. Now remember, my variable x, the value, let's say it's the same. Whatever x is with my 12 is going to be the same value with my 7. So we can combine those. We have 12x's and 7x's, okay? And 12 plus 7 is 19. So I can say I have 19x plus, okay? Then I have 2 constants, a 1 and a 10. They're constant because their values don't change. So 1 plus 10 is 11. That's how we're going to combine it. Now, you're not solving because they're not giving us a value for x, but you are simplifying your expression. So I'm going to go here again, and we're just going to go through and simplify. So I'm going to first just highlight my like terms, 7x and 2x, and then I have a constant 4. Okay. Now, as you notice, when we combine like terms, coefficients and variables, they go first. They go at the front. Constants go at the back. So 7 plus 2 is 9x plus 4. Okay. Number 12, I have n. I have 2n. Okay. Then I have my constant 17 and my constant 3. So if I have 1n and I add 2 more, I have 3n. And then I have 17 plus 3 is 20. Okay. Over here, I have 9r and 5r and 11. So now I have subtraction. So I have 9 r's and I take away 5. I'm going to end up with 4 r's plus 11. Next one, I have 2k and a k. Okay. Then I have constant 14 and 8. And I'm going to highlight that together so you can see this is 14 minus 8. So I have 2 k's and I add one more. I've got 3 k's plus I have 14 minus 8, which is 6. Okay. Down here, looking for my coefficient variables first. I have a 2w and a 6w. And I have a 1 and an 8. Now I see here they put constants in the front. Ooh, poo-poo. We don't want that. When we simplify, it's very formal. We have to put our coefficients and variables at the front. So 2w plus 6 more w's is 8w, plus 8 and 1 is 9. So this other one here, I have, you want coefficient variables first, 6 and p, and 5p. And then I have a constant, 2 and 10. All right. Now, if I have 6 p's and I take away 5, I have 1 p left. So watch this. It's just going to be p. You don't put 1 p in front of it. We already know it's 1 all by itself. Putting a 1 in front of the p would be redundant. And I have 10 plus 2 is 12. Okay. Number 17. I have an 11n, and a 2n, and a 4n. I got a lot of that going on. And I have 5 minus 1. Now here's something I want you to pay attention to. There is a subtraction symbol in front of my 2n, if I can make this focus. And so what this is going to mean right now is you're going to, when you're combining, you're going to do 11 minus 2n's. 11n's minus 2, which I end up with 9. But then I add 4 more. I'm going to get 13n's plus. And then 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay. 9c, and a negative c, or minus a c, minus a 2c. Okay. And then I have 4 and a 3. So if I have 9 c's and I take away one of those, I have 8. But then I take away 2 more, I have 6. 6 c's plus 7. Okay. Oh, this is going to be ugly. All right, I have 3/4 y and 1/2 y, and then I have 7. This would be one you'd have to put in your calculator. Or we could solve over here. You're going to have to add 3/4 plus 1/2. So 3/4 plus 1/2. I'm just going to go over here and do this so you can watch me. And then we got 1/2. We got to make a common denominator. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5/4 is 1 and 1/4. So we're going to end up with 1 and 1/4 y plus 7. Yeah. You could also do that in a calculator, but I just did it real quick on the side. But number 20, you're definitely going to want to put that in the calculator, because finding a common denominator for adding fractions is going to be a surefire doozy. And remember, remember, you're allowed to use your calculator in this portion of your TCAP because they want you to know this is assessing you on your understanding of combining like terms, not your ability to add fractions. Okay, so I have 5/6w. That stays together. But 1/8 and 7/12 is a constant. Okay? So we're going to start with this. 5/6w plus, and we're just going to bust out that calculator. 1/8 plus 5, 7/12. So 1/8 plus 7/12. And we get 17/24. 17/24. And that was nice of them to simplify, because we know it's simplified because 17 is a prime number. Okay. 21. It's a doozy. So we've got multiple variables now. You cannot combine different variables. So watch. I've got 9x and I've got 2x. Okay. But remember, the value of x is not going to be the same as value of y. So we cannot combine those variables together. Then I have 7y minus 3y. Okay. So 9 plus 2 more is 11x, plus 7y's minus 3y's is 4y. Let's look at another one. We have, something else I want to point out that we just did. When you are putting, when you are simplifying your expression, and up here I talked about your coefficient variable, this goes first and your constants are going to go last. Well, when you have multiple variables, your variables have to go in ABC order. So you would say 11x before the y, so xy, okay? So like over here, I have 8a and I have negative 1a, boo. But then I have 3b and I have 11b, okay? So A comes before B in the alphabet, so I'm going to work with him first. If I have 8 A's and I take away 1, I have 7 A's. And then I have plus 3 B's plus 11 more, I'm going to have 14 B's, okay? Come down here, let's look at this. So I have M, I have 2M and minus an M. I have an 8N, N, but then I got a third. I have a third term, 14, which is my constant. Okay, I'm holding my little guys here. It's like I have long fingernails of highlighters. So if I have 2 M's and I take away 1, I'm left with 1 M plus 8N plus 14. Okay, and M comes before N, so be mindful of that. Then I have R, 8 R's, and then minus 2 R's, and then right there, my S's are together. So if I have 8 R's and I take away 2, I have 6 R's. R-matey. I have 4 S's and I add 1 more, I have 5 S. Okay, so then I have an 8P, and then I have Q's, 5Q minus 3Q's, and then I have my third term right now is positive 1. So P comes before Q, so I have 8P plus, I have 5Q's minus 3Q's, that's 2Q's, plus 1. My last one, yay! I have a C, I have a 7C, and then I have 11D, and I have minus 4D. Okay, put those away. C comes before D. So if I have, watch this, I have a positive C, adding 7 more, I'm going to have 8C, plus 11D's minus 4D's give me 7D. And that's it. That's just combining like terms. And as you see, we did not evaluate because we don't have any values for these variables. So just for you to see and know. And it's going to be hot dog sauce.